The Messerschmitt Me-262 was the world's first operational jet-powered fighter aircraft. The design of what would become the Me-262 started in April 1939, before World War II. It made its maiden flight on April 18, 1941 with a piston engine, and its first jet-powered flight on July 18, 1942. Progress was delayed by problems with engines, metallurgy, and interference from Luftwaffe Chief Hermann Göring and Adolf Hitler. The aircraft became operational with the Luftwaffe in mid-1944. The Me-262 was faster and more heavily armed than any Allied fighter, including the British jet-powered Gloster Meteor. The Allies countered by attacking the aircraft on the ground and during takeoff and landing. The need for a jet-powered trainer for the Luftwaffe led Messerschmitt to develop the dual-control Me-262 B-1a. The B-1a was similar to the A-1a, but had a second seat in place of the rear fuel tank. Provisions for external fuel tanks were provided to extend the range. Only 15 trainers were built, with some being modified as Me-262 B-1a/U-1 night fighters. The B-1a/U-1 was equipped with a FUG-218 Neptune radar and was armed with two 108 Malawian Quachas and two MG-151 cannons. Operationally, the radar's antenna proved to be a source of drag, but the B-1a/U-1 could still outrun the British de Havilland Mosquito. The possibility of using the Me-262 as a night interceptor was demonstrated in a series of tests carried out at Rechlin in October 1944. The high speed of the Me-262 was unnecessary when attacking four-engine bombers. For a single-seat fighter attacking a target in the beams of searchlights, high speed has become more of a disadvantage than an advantage. Even the two-seat Me-262, on which the speed was reduced due to the Liechtenstein radar antenna installed in the nose, slipped a bomber loaded with bombs, so that the pilot did not have time to open aimed fire. However, the crews of the Me-262V developed their own tactics, corresponding to the peculiarities of their fighters. They launched an attack from below and extinguished the excess speed during climb in the last seconds before opening fire. This unit used wild boar tactics, using conventional Me-262 jet fighters. This tactic envisaged the use of free-ranging day fighters to counter RAF bomber command. The single-engine fighters were to supplement the ground-controlled technique by cooperation with searchlight crews, mostly over the target. Pyrotechnic and other visual means were to guide the fighters. After the fighters had reached the combat zone, pilots tried to identify and intercept enemy bombers visually. Searchlights were to be used to illuminate the sky. Initial tests using former flying instructors experienced in blind flying techniques suggested the ideal weather conditions were when a certain lower-level cloud cover prevailed, since then the bomber would be silhouetted against the backlit clouds and the high-flying German fighters could easily spot their targets. During March 1945, the Luftwaffe received the first two Me-262 B-1a/U-1 aircraft, which were used to cover Berlin. If the Me-262 B-La/UL was only a conversion of a training vehicle, then the Me-262 B-2a was considered a real night fighter, which was expected to enter service from the middle of 1945. Structurally, the aircraft was distinguished by the insertion of two fuselage sections before and after a two-seat cockpit, which increased the overall length by 1.2 meters. This made it possible to place 900-liter and 600-liter rear tanks in the fuselage. The success of the Me-262 B-1a/U-1 led to the development of the Me-262 B-2a, a dedicated night fighter. The B-2a had a stretched fuselage with increased fuel capacity and was to be armed with two upward-facing 108 Malawian Quachas cannons. Early models were to have been fitted with a Neptune radar with antler antennas, but later production aircraft would have been fitted with a FUG-240 Berlin with an internal antenna. Only one prototype was built before the war ended. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and to make sure you don't miss my future work, please make sure you are subscribed to my channel and press the bell notification button. Thank you and see you in the next video.